The wealthy have a lot to gain by conditioning us. They have spent years and billions of dollars to keep us blinded via their media. Mainstream media is owned by the bourgeois and is paid to sell their rhetoric to the masses. For example, Fox News receives 54% of its investments from the following companies: Vanguard Group, BlackRock, State Street Corporation, Geode Capital Management, Dodge & Cox, Yachtman Asset Management, State of Wisconsin Investment Board, Independent Franchise Partners, American Century Companies, and Norges Bank Investment Management. Just to be fair, CNN is owned by Warner Brothers Discovery, whose biggest shareholders include Vanguard Group, BlackRock, State Street Corp., Geode Capital Management, Advanced Newhouse Programming Partnership, Harris Associates LP, Advanced Long-Term Management Trust, and Invesco Ltd. I hope you notice some of the overlap of these shareholders of these two news sources that represent two different biases. If you were to do more digging on other media outlets, I'm sure you'd find more of this. The rich ruling class have created the idea of the American dream under their own image. This image is how they view it's supposed to be and fed us the lie that we can somehow achieve it. Their media outlets are used to sell it to us through all its aspects. Take propaganda, for example. Sections of the population are conditioned into supporting the police who only protect bourgeois laws that protect the ultra-wealthy. Think about it. When you are under the threat of being evicted from your home, who shows up to enforce it? The police. When workers are fed up with the working conditions and are striking against the corporate entity, who shows up to squash it down when it gets out of hand? The police. Who discriminately attacks and profiles members of the working class based on the color of their skin? The police. When we have peaceful protests, who responds via violence? The police. And who spins the rhetoric about the violent protesters? The media. And who believes the rhetoric? The masses. Television shows of the past, such as Leave It to Beaver, depicted what would have been considered the American dream, an ideal that shaped an entire white generation. Reality shows of today depicting the rich in their natural habitat, such as Keeping Up with the Kardashians or Bling Empire, shove into our faces the lifestyle of the ultra-wealthy. Don't you see? They have problems just like we do. How many rom-coms follow rich families in an attempt to normalize them so we defend them instead of criticize them? The bourgeois expect that if we are fed these images, we will not only attempt to adopt it, but to unrealistically strive for riches ourselves. That we will try to consume our way into wealth by filling our lives with quantity rather than quality. Who does this benefit? It benefits them because we are buying the products they stole from us. We have been duped into thinking that a world of consumption benefits us, but under capitalism, it only benefits them. We vilified the people who can help us the most, each other, in exchange for material possessions and our servitude to the employers. A lot of the movies we watch are also full of capitalist propaganda. Superhero movies teach us that we are the heroes of our own stories. We don't need silly things like community to help us out. If you just pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you too will have a car, a house, 1,000 other material possessions, self-respect, and the respect of others. These movies are especially toxic in teaching people of American exceptionalism. You have this one individual with powers who takes it upon themselves to save others because they are too weak to save themselves. Only exceptional people with exceptional powers can help the meek. In the case of the Avengers movies, it's multiple exceptional people with exceptional powers helping the powerless. I'm sure people on the Fortune 500 think this way about themselves, except they aren't exceptional, and their only power is having lots of money. Aside from American exceptionalism, these movies have also supported the military-industrial complex. The organization SHIELD from the Avengers movies is a clear example of the all-knowing government that has its hands in everything and knows everything about you in order to keep you safe. Tanks, AR-15s, and military personnel in these movies are more nods to the MIC. These images permeate into the minds of young kids, making them think, if I can't have superpowers, then perhaps I can join the military to keep the people I care about safe. If television shows and movies are the message, then advertisements are the call to action. Are you poor and want to serve your country? Find a recruiter and join the military. Are you fat? Buy these diet pills. Are you ugly? We have a cream for that. You name it, they have a product for it. We work hard for what little we earn, and we have been conditioned to spend what little we have left on things we don't need. A lot of these things are designed to break. It's called planned obsolescence. We are told by their government to spend in order to stimulate their economy. All their advertisements telling us to buy, and then they have the audacity to vilify us for spending, calling us irresponsible. They use the money they stole from us to buy up property and say that the reason why we can't afford it is because we're not smart with our money. These assholes who were born into wealth and stole even more from us, telling us how to spend the scraps they give us. Thank you so much for the advice. When capitalism goes into its down cycle and they need someone to blame for why it's happening, they use the media. It's the illegal immigrants. It's the terrorists, it's the socialists, it's the communists, even though we supposedly defeated them. The finger is never pointed at them. A scapegoat is found via our racist institutions, and the media is used to put out the message. The reason why everything is bad is because there are bad people in the world, but the bad people aren't us. When capitalism is more or less on the upswing, they vilify our neighbors, fellow members of our working class, sowing the seeds of distrust within our communities. Your neighbors may have a criminal record and may steal your belongings while you're away. Everyone outside your house is your enemy. The only people you can trust is your employer, which gives you your wages, your government, which graciously gives you your rights, and the police and the soldiers who protect you because you are too weak to do it yourself, failing to illuminate the fact that the institutional injustices they created are the causes of the so-called bad people. If you really think that people do bad things because they are inherently bad, congratulations, you have been properly conditioned to the capitalist system. If you fail to see that most, if not everyone, doesn't have jobs because the wealthy manufacture unemployment in order to hoard more wealth and purposefully create scarcity, you have been conditioned. If you fail to see that people will commit acts of violence when they feel cornered, such as losing their house or facing starvation, you have been conditioned. If you think that there are bad guys and that there are good guys, you have been conditioned. If you fail to see that unhoused people do drugs because they are stuck living in the streets and are constantly being harassed physically and sexually, you have been conditioned. If you think the police serve and protect the general population, you have been conditioned. This is how the media is weaponized against us. This is how the media keeps us in line. This is how the media keeps us complacent in the capitalist system when we all know that it is not working for us. As humans, we have the choice of where we get our information. Sometimes discerning fact from opinion can be difficult. Even when people display a fancy chart or graph, you may need to look up those statistics for yourself because it can be misrepresented. Under the capitalist system, we have to question information presented to us, especially when it is being used for nefarious purposes. The first step is to question what is being presented to you. Stick to the basics. Who, what, why, when, where, how, is. Ask questions like, who owns the corporation putting out this information? What agenda are they trying to push? Why is this important to me or the entity putting it out? When was this article written, and is it still relevant? Where are they getting this information, and are they relevant sources? How can this negatively impact a group of people? Is this true? These are some simple steps to questioning what it is you see. Ground news is great and all for biases, but it cannot help you discern the truth. For that, you have to do a little digging. In conclusion, the media is backed by large corporations owned by the billionaire class. In order to keep us, the working class, In obedience with the system of capitalism they've created, they've heavily utilized their media to keep our eyes diverted from the true culprits of all the woes in society, them. In order to arm ourselves with the facts, we must question everything we consume, especially if what we're consuming is being used to garner support for violence against other members of the working class. I hope you found this video informative. If you know someone who would like this video, please share it. Until next time, comrades.